All right, so we're diving deep today into something I know a lot of you have been talking about. The Stefon Diggs trade. He's going to the Patriots, and
Big move.
it's huge, right? And
Yeah.
we all saw the headlines, but we're going deeper here.
Yeah.
We've got this YouTube discussion that happened right after the news broke, and it's really interesting to hear those immediate reactions, from people who really know their stuff about the NFL.
Definitely.
So what we're trying to do is figure out what this all means. What does it mean for the Patriots, obviously, but also for Diggs himself? And, kind of for the whole league, really? Is this going to shift things around?
Right. Like, what are the ripple effects here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So was this a smart move by the Patriots, or are they kind of, getting a little desperate?
Yeah. Did they just panic?
Right. And that's what we're going to find out.
All right, let's get into it.
So right off the bat, one of the commentators in the video called this trade a big deal. And you can see why, right? I mean, the Patriots, they really needed a top receiver, someone to, make their offense more dangerous. And of course, you've got this young quarterback, Drake May. So having a veteran like Diggs to help him out could be huge.
Yeah, mentorship is big for a young QB.
Totally. But then the commentator brings up something important. Diggs is 31 years old, and he's coming off this pretty serious ACL surgery.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a tough injury to come back from.
Right. So is he even going to be the same player? But at the same time, this commentator is saying the Patriots basically had no one else. They were so thin at receiver that they kind of had to do something drastic.
Yeah, their cupboard was bare, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like they were in a tough spot.
Yeah, you can see why they felt they had to make a move.
But not everyone was so sure about this trade, right? Another commentator was skeptical right away, and he kept bringing up the quarterback situation.
Interesting.
He's like, why would Diggs leave Josh Allen, and C.J. Stroud, these amazing quarterbacks, to play with a rookie?
That's a really good point.
And it makes you think, a receiver's only as good as the guy throwing him the ball.
Totally. You need that chemistry, that connection.
Right. So even if Diggs is super talented, if May isn't ready, it might not even matter.
It could limit Diggs' impact for sure.
Yeah. And the skeptical guy, he also brought up the money. Diggs is going to be making like $70 million over 3 years with the Patriots. So is that why he made the move?
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that kind of security.
I know, right? I mean, at this point in his career, maybe that's a bigger factor than, chasing another championship or whatever.
Yeah, maybe he's thinking about the long game now.
Right. And then another commentator jumped in, and they were focused on the Patriots' coaching style. They have this defensive-minded coach, and he's known for being pretty conservative.
Run the ball, control the clock, that kind of thing.
Exactly. So this commentator's thinking maybe Diggs won't even be used as a deep threat. Maybe they'll just have him running shorter routes, being more of a possession receiver.
Huh. That's interesting because Diggs, he likes to be the guy.
Right. He wants the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to show his frustration if he's not getting enough targets.
So that could be a problem.
It could be a big problem. So it's like, will he be happy in this kind of system? I mean, we've seen what happens when star receivers aren't happy.
It can really disrupt a team.
Totally. But hold on, because then another commentator jumps in and they're saying, no. The Patriots are actually the perfect situation for Diggs because they don't have any other big-name receivers.
Oh, so he'll be the clear #1 option.
Right. They're saying he's going to get all the targets he wants. And they even pointed out that last year he went to the Texans and they had some other talented receivers there, but it wasn't a problem.
So maybe he's more adaptable than we think.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to win, and he'll do whatever it takes.
You never know until you see him in the new system.
Exactly. And here's another thing that came up in the discussion. Apparently, the Patriots were also trying to get other top receivers like Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin, DK Metcalf.
Wow, so they were really serious about upgrading at that position.
Seriously, I mean, they must have been making calls all over the league.
Yeah, it sounds like they were desperate to make a splash.
Which makes you think, okay, they got Diggs, but is he really the answer? I mean, coming off that injury with a rookie quarterback, is this really the best move they could have made?
It's a gamble for sure. I mean, they're putting a lot of faith in him.
Yeah, and that skeptical commentator, he brought up that point too. He's like, can Diggs even be a #1 receiver right away after that ACL injury, especially without a lot of help around him?
Yeah, I mean, it takes time to recover from something like that, both physically and mentally.
Exactly, and if defenses can just focus on him, double team him all the time, it's going to be tough.
He's going to need some support from the other receivers to really thrive.
For sure. So that's kind of the immediate reaction to the Diggs trade, but then the discussion went in this really interesting direction. It became about more than just this one player, you
Yeah,
know?
right. It became about the bigger picture of the NFL.
Exactly. And they started talking about Aaron Rodgers and whether he might go to the Minnesota
Oh,
Vikings.
wow, that would be a huge move.
Right. And the argument was that the Vikings, they've made all these other moves to get better, but they're still missing that elite quarterback.
Yeah, but they've got a lot of talent, but they're relying on a rookie quarterback. I think they said it was J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah. And the point was made that it's really rare for a rookie quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
I mean, it makes sense, right? They just don't have the experience.
Right. The only guys who have done it are Tom Brady and Kurt Warner, and everyone thought that was a fluke, you know?
Yeah, those were special circumstances.
Exactly. So the Vikings, if they want to win, now maybe they need someone like Rodgers, but here's the thing, they seem hesitant to actually sign him.
Huh. It is interesting.
It's like they know he could make them contenders, but they're also scared of what it might cost, both in terms of money and maybe disrupting the team chemistry.
Yeah, you got to weigh the risks and rewards.
And then someone brought up how Brady and Warner both got their chances because the starting quarterback got injured.
Oh, so it wasn't the plan.
It wasn't the plan at all. It was like fate stepped in, you
Right.
know?
Yeah, sometimes the best opportunities come when you least expect them.
Exactly. So who knows? Maybe McCarthy will surprise everyone, but history tells us it's a long shot.
Right. There's a reason why teams are so hesitant to go all in with a rookie quarterback.
So let's wrap this up for you guys. We went deep on the Stefon Diggs trade, and it's clear there's no easy answer. Is this a good move for the Patriots? Well, some people think it's exactly what they needed to get their offense going and help out their young
Yeah,
quarterback.
give him a weapon.
But others are worried. Diggs is coming off an injury. He's got this huge contract, and will he even be happy in their system?
A lot of unknowns.
It really is. And what I think is so fascinating is how much uncertainty there is. We looked at all these different opinions, and it's like no one knows for sure what's going to happen.
And that's what makes the NFL so exciting. Yeah.
Totally. And for those of you who love to analyze things, this trade is a goldmine. I mean, it makes you think about everything from player evaluation to coaching styles to the importance of the quarterback position.
Yeah. And how one move can set off a chain reaction across the whole league.
Exactly. And we even got into the historical context, with Brady and Warner. It just shows you that sometimes the biggest successes come from the most unexpected places.
You can't predict everything.
You definitely can't. So here's a final thought for you to chew on. What do you think is going to be the biggest factor in whether this trade works out? Is it going to be Drake May stepping up and becoming a star? Is it going to be Diggs making a full recovery and playing like his old self? Or is it going to be the Patriots coaching staff, figuring out how to use him properly?
Yeah.
And whatever you think about that, what does it tell you about the pressure that's on all these guys right now? I mean, the stakes are high.
High stakes indeed.
All right, folks, that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for listening.
We'll get you next time.